You've probably seen the memes of Raygun, Australia's female contestant for breaking, commonly known as breakdancing, at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Her unconventional dance moves have become the butt of jokes online, with people calling them amateurish and goofy looking. For example, this snake move, the kangaroo hops, and this move that looks uncannily like what Homer Simpson did. But to many, this was no laughing matter. People were genuinely indignant that Raygun had embarrassed Australia on the world stage, robbed another promising beagle of her opportunity to compete at the Olympics, and doing all this while being funded by taxpayers' money. About 50,000 people even signed an online petition that called for Raygun to apologize, accusing Raygun of rigging her way to the Olympics and claiming that her husband was on the judging panel that granted her qualification to the Olympics. Well, I'm sorry to say, but that is just not true. Raygun's husband is another Australian breaker named Samuel Free. And a quick Google search shows that he was not on the panel of judges at the Oceania qualifier. So if Raygun didn't manipulate her way into the competition, how else could someone so bad compete at the Olympics? Well, that's because the Olympics was designed to be this way. If we take a look at the world rankings of breaking from the World Breaking Championship in 2023, Raygun made it into top 20 from the bottom. She came in at 64th out of 80 participants from countries all over the world. Meanwhile, the other competitors of her round-robin group came in at 1st, 3rd, and 7th. This may come as a surprise, but the Olympics is not just about people overcoming perceived physical limits and displaying godly feats of athleticism. We forget that the original intent of the modern Olympics was to promote a more peaceful and united world through sport. In fact, the Olympic logo of the 5 rings symbolized the coming together of the 5 major parts of the world. And it was this principle that brought Raygun to the Olympics, despite her being ranked at the bottom 20 of the world breaking competition. You see, in this inaugural breaking Olympic event, there were 3 main ways where international competitors can fight to participate in the Olympics. One was to win the World Championship, where the winner gets a direct spot at the Olympics. Another is through the Olympic Qualifier Series, which grants 7 spots in the Olympics. And the third route is through the Continental Qualifiers, where competitions are held in each of the 5 major continents: Pan America, Asia, Africa, Europe, and Oceania. The winner of each continental qualifier gets to participate in the Olympics. Raygun was the winner of the Oceania qualifier, and that's how she got to the Olympics, despite being nowhere as good as the top B-girls of the world. But this begs another question. Is Raygun really and truly the best in Oceania? Or was she just friends with a panel of 9 international judges and somehow managed to sway them into voting for her without merit? Here are some snippets of the Oceania qualifier, where Raygun beat her competitor Molly to win the Olympic ticket. Well, I'm no dancer and surely no breaker, so I won't comment much on the dance moves. But the majority of the judges' votes went to Raygun, though it was a close fight, with Raygun winning only 3 more votes than Molly in their final round of battle.
It came down to the last round.
At the World Breaking Championships 2023, Raygun was also ranked decisively above Molly, with Raygun coming in at 64 and Molly coming in at 79. There is no evidence of the judges being biased towards Raygun, so according to these competition rankings, Raygun is the best breaker in Oceania prior to the Paris Olympics. Of course, we don't live in a perfect world, and there are limitations as to how representative these competitions are. There may be other better B-girls in Oceania who were too young or lacked the resources to join these competitions, or they simply did not know of such competitions, and were hence excluded from the selection processes. But within the rules of the system, Raygun got to the Olympics fair and square. So how did a respectable top-ranking B-girl of Oceania become the world's laughingstock. If we look at some of Raygun's past performance, while they may not be at the standards of the world's top 10, they were also not at the low depths of viral humiliating memes. I mean, this all looks like very acceptable breaking dance moves. I don't read minds, but there are some hints of what might have been going through Raygun's head. From her past breaking experience, Raygun probably knew that she was nowhere as good as her competitors. I mean, she was ranked 64 against those ranked 1st, 3rd, and 7th. She knew it was an impossible uphill battle if she were going to compete with them based on the traditional criteria. She said, "I was never going to beat these girls on what they do best, their power moves. What I bring is creativity. I go out there and I show my artistry." But clearly, Raygun's artistry seems to go against what most people think of as breaking. And I think the root cause of that can be found in her academic work. In her PhD thesis abstract, Raygun writes that dance can facilitate new possibilities beyond the confines of dominant modes of thought. Well, she definitely succeeded in going beyond the dominant modes of thought. She's gone where no breaker has gone before, and the rest of the world just wasn't prepared for her level of inventiveness. There are people who get it though. The Australian Prime Minister has defended Raygun, saying that she represents the Australian spirit of having a go. Olympics breaking head judge M.G. Bility said that breaking is all about originality and bringing something new to the table. This is exactly what Raygun was doing. She got inspired by her surroundings, which in this case, for example, was a kangaroo. He added that the breaking and hip-hop communities definitely stand behind her. Amidst all the comments from the haters, we can see some members of the dance community speaking up for Raygun. On Raygun's latest Instagram post, 2 times breaking world champion Lil Amok showed his public support for Raygun. On the video of her Oceania qualifier, there is a pinned comment that tries to explain how breaking has evolved beyond just the power moves, going on to say that Raygun's performance should be appreciated based on nuances of the dance, art form, and culture. However, these shows of support are few and far in between in the barrage of negative reactions all over the internet. One particularly notable figure has also gone so far to accuse Raygun of getting 0 points on purpose, with the agenda of getting a subsidized academic study. Note that there is currently no evidence backing this accusation. So what do you think? We've checked out the facts and taken a look at some of the perspectives surrounding this issue. Do you think Raygun's performance at the Olympics should be condemned, or should it be commended? Personally, I think we shouldn't be too harsh on her. Many people are angry because they think Raygun's performance was so embarrassing that it disrespected the sport, the community, her country, and the Olympics. However, let's bear in mind that Raygun knew that she was ranked 64 and that she was going up against the top 3 and top 7 breakers. And she knew that there was no way that she could win her competitors based on athleticism. Her only chance to gain an edge was with her artistry. So she took a gamble. And she did all those unconventional dance moves. Unfortunately, her efforts were in the realm of subjective judgment, and most people have judged them negatively rather than positively. But I believe that Raygun made the best with what she had, and she put her best foot forward. Let's compare this to the marathon event at the Paris Olympics, where the Bhutan athlete Lamo finished 1.5 hours after the second last runner. But she was met with cheers and support and a standing ovation at the finish line. If we accept that both Raygun and Lamo did the best they could, then why is Lamo celebrated for her Olympian spirit, whereas Raygun was so brutally criticized? In any case, let's keep in mind that the Olympian spirit is only one part about excellence, and the other 2 parts are about respect and friendship. So let's all be respectful and have more empathy for one another.